Welcome to Science with Oscar. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the incredible life and mind of one of the greatest physicists of all time, Albert Einstein. Now, when you think of Einstein, you probably picture wild hair, a mustache, and that iconic photo of him sticking out his tongue. But trust me, there's so much more to this man than meets the eye. Stay tuned for some amazing facts that you might not know about him. So, you've heard the stories, right? The tales of the great Albert Einstein, the genius who supposedly flunked out of school. Einstein, the rebellious student flunking out of school, proving that grades don't matter. But is that really the whole story? Well, hold on to your cosmic hats, folks, because the truth is a bit more nuanced than that. It's not as black and white as it seems. Einstein was actually a pretty bright student, especially when it came to math and physics. He excelled in these subjects. He even taught himself algebra and geometry in a single summer. Imagine the dedication and curiosity that takes. But here's the thing. Einstein clashed with the rigid, rote learning style of the traditional education system. It just didn't suit his way of thinking. He hated memorization, he hated being told what to think, and he definitely hated taking exams. These were the things that stifled his creativity. He once said, "Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school." A powerful statement, isn't it? See, Einstein was all about independent thinking, about questioning everything, about understanding the why behind the what. He was a true thinker. And that kind of thinking, that's what leads to true breakthroughs. It's what makes someone not just a student, but a pioneer in their field. Okay, picture this. It's a quiet evening, the stars are out, and the world seems to be at peace. You hear the sweet, melancholic sound of a violin filling the air, its notes weaving a tapestry of emotions. You follow the music and find Albert Einstein, you bet, the genius himself lost in the melodies. See, Einstein wasn't just a physics genius, he was a man of many passions, a true Renaissance man, and one of his deepest loves, besides understanding the universe, was music. It was his solace and joy. He started playing the violin when he was just a kid, and it became his lifelong companion, a source of comfort. He was particularly drawn to the works of Mozart and Bach, whose compositions resonated deeply with him. He even said once that if he hadn't been a physicist, he probably would have been a musician. Such was his love for it. He believed that music and physics, while seemingly different, actually sprang from the same source, a quest for understanding, a deep sense of wonder and awe at the beauty and harmony of the universe. For Einstein, both were expressions of the same profound curiosity. Now let's talk about the equation that changed the world. E=mc2. It's probably the most famous equation in history, even if most people don't really know what it means. But trust me, it's a big deal. In simple terms, this equation tells us that energy and mass are actually two sides of the same coin. They're interchangeable. Mass can be converted into energy, and energy can be converted into mass. This little equation revolutionized our understanding of the universe. It explained how stars shine, how nuclear weapons work, and it even hinted at the mind-bending possibility of time travel. Einstein's genius wasn't just in coming up with the equation, but in grasping its profound implications. He saw that the universe wasn't a static, unchanging place, but a dynamic, interconnected web of energy and matter. Now here's where things get a little complicated. Einstein's legacy is not just one of scientific brilliance, but also of moral and ethical dilemmas. Einstein's work, particularly his famous equation E=mc², laid the groundwork for the development of the atomic bomb. This equation, simple yet profound, showed the immense energy contained within matter. And in 1939, deeply concerned about the rise of Nazi Germany, Einstein signed a letter to President Roosevelt, urging the United States to begin research into atomic weapons. This letter was a pivotal moment, leading to the Manhattan Project. But here's the thing. Einstein himself was a pacifist. He abhorred the idea of war and violence, and this decision weighed heavily on him. He hated war and violence. The devastation of World War I had already left a deep scar on his conscience. He saw the atomic bomb as a necessary evil, a deterrent against an even greater evil. The fear of Nazi Germany developing such a weapon first was a driving force. After the war, Einstein dedicated much of his life to promoting peace and nuclear disarmament. He became an outspoken advocate against the very weapons his work had helped create. He famously said, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." This quote reflects his deep concern for the future of humanity. It's a stark reminder that even the greatest scientific discoveries can have unintended and devastating consequences. Einstein's complex legacy serves as a cautionary tale about the dual-edged nature of scientific progress. Here's a little-known fact that might surprise you. Einstein won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921, but it wasn't for his theory of relativity. Yep, you heard that right. He actually received the prize for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. Now, the photoelectric effect is a phenomenon where light shining on a metal surface can knock electrons loose, creating an electric current. It might seem like a small thing, but Einstein's explanation of this effect was revolutionary. It provided the first experimental confirmation of quantum theory, the idea that light behaves not just as a wave, but also as a particle. So while Einstein's theory of relativity is undoubtedly his most famous work, it was his work on the photoelectric effect that earned him the highest honor in science. In 1933, as the Nazi regime tightened its grip on Germany, Einstein made the difficult decision to leave his homeland. He was Jewish, and his work was denounced by the Nazis as Jewish physics. His books were burned, his property was confiscated, and his life was threatened. So Einstein fled to the United States, where he eventually settled in Princeton, New Jersey. He became a citizen in 1940 and spent the rest of his life in America, finding a new home and continuing his scientific work in a country that embraced freedom and intellectual curiosity. It's a reminder that even the brightest minds are not immune to the forces of hatred and intolerance. Now imagine a place where the world's greatest minds come together to ponder the biggest questions in the universe and push the boundaries of human knowledge. That's the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, and it's where Einstein spent the latter part of his illustrious career. He joined the Institute in 1933 and found it to be the perfect environment for his groundbreaking work. No teaching duties, no administrative responsibilities, just pure, unadulterated research and intellectual freedom. He continued to work on his unified field theory, a theory that attempted to unite all the forces of nature into a single, cohesive framework. He never quite achieved his ultimate goal, but his work at the Institute helped to shape the landscape of modern physics and inspired future generations. Beyond the lab, Einstein's fight for peace and justice. Einstein wasn't just content to stay cooped up in his office, lost in equations. He believed that scientists had a moral obligation to speak out against injustice and to use their platform for good. He became an outspoken advocate for peace, civil rights, and social justice. He corresponded with world leaders, wrote articles, and gave speeches, urging for nuclear disarmament and an end to all forms of discrimination. He famously said, "The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it." His activism is a powerful reminder that intelligence and knowledge come with a responsibility to make the world a better place. Einstein's quirks, the man behind the genius. Okay, let's be honest, part of Einstein's charm is his undeniable quirkiness. I mean, the man was a walking, talking caricature of a genius. He was famous for his wild hair, his rumpled clothes, and his general air of absent-mindedness. He hated wearing socks, he loved sailing, and he was known to get so lost in thought that he'd forget where he was going. But these quirks weren't just for show. They were a reflection of his unconventional mind, his willingness to break the mold and challenge the status quo. He once said, "If I were to start taking care of my grooming, I would no longer be my own self." And that's what made Einstein so special. He was unapologetically himself, quirks and all. Einstein's enduring legacy, a universe of inspiration. Albert Einstein left an indelible mark on the world, not just through his scientific discoveries, but through his humanity, his compassion, and his unwavering belief in the power of reason. His theories revolutionized our understanding of the universe, from the smallest subatomic particles to the vast expanse of space-time. His work continues to inspire new generations of scientists, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. But perhaps his greatest legacy is his enduring message of peace, tolerance, and the importance of questioning everything. In a world often driven by division and conflict, Einstein's life and work stand as a beacon of hope, reminding us of the power of curiosity, the beauty of the universe, and the importance of using our knowledge for the betterment of humankind. Keep exploring the cosmos. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about Albert Einstein, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating content. Let us know in the comments which facts surprised you the most. Einstein's life and work continue to inspire us to this day, reminding us to never stop questioning, never stop exploring, and never stop marveling at the wonders of the universe. Until next time, keep looking up.